Welcome back to the Shadow Business Podcast. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics. You do not have to heal before you're wealthy. So, for a long time, when I was into the self development space, I started investing in coaching since 21. Now it's 26, so it's 5.5 years now. And I started with money mindset because I thought, oh, that's interesting for me. I think I could really learn a lot. And then, well, it went on and on and on. But for a long time, I actually believed that you had to heal your money wounds before money could actually come to you. I don't believe that anymore. And today I want to tell you why, because I think that that thing is also holding you back right now. And then providing, of course, that you want to become wealthy. Why else would you listen to the Shadow Business Podcast by the brand Wealth Icon? But yeah, so I was taught this, right? The same thing you were probably taught. Journal your beliefs, forgive your parents, release all the tension around money. Uh, think about what it would be like to have more of it, and or spend the money already in your brain. And I get why this sounds right. It sounds very responsible, it sounds very deep, but it's also the reason why so many people do it, because it makes sense. And also people really like to have to do something, to have something, a task in their hands. And if so I was thinking about this proposal, so to say, but if healing your money story was actually the key, then way more people would be wealthy right now. And so I thought about this, and I thought, oh, so many people who are doing all these abundance exercises, who are doing what's that book called? Is it called The Key? No. Or Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill and all those things. And the entire industry is actually built on this idea. And obviously, it's not working. And so at one point, I stopped doing all of this. And I thought, okay, no, you know what? I'm going to do something else. I have to open up my brain. And I actually decided to, it sounds strange, but to claim my wealth before it was there. And so before I was done with healing. And also before kind of the story was rewritten. And before I knew where the money was coming from. And this was, for me, this was not instead of the healing work, but it was parallel. It was alongside it. I did it both at the same time, and that really changed it for me. And this again proves, and this is also what I taught inside Summer Splash. This really proves that you really have to go your own way, and to really really believe in yourself. And so that for me was the actual shift. And it was not the heal first and then receive. But it's actually, what I believe, is claim the identity and let the healing catch up while you're already living as this person. And what will happen is you will see the proof, because you're working on it, because you claim it. And so I see in my coaching all the time as a shadow business coach, I see that your identity moves faster than your history actually does, if you let it. So I don't think that you need every old wound closed to start acting, thinking, and receiving as the version that is actually of you that already has this. And so waiting for full healing, and I know it sounds very tempting, and I have experienced this too, but waiting for the full healing before you can claim anything or before you actually can cash in just keeps you circling in the same story longer and longer, and it's kind of feeling like you're doing the work, but you're not. And when I started my business, I was also starting my healing, and which was obviously a lot. It was a lot. And I was doing this parallel, and for a long time I thought, oh, this is really bad. I am not, I'm taking on too much. I'm afraid my clients will notice. Maybe they did, but I never heard of it. I'm also not, well, I could ask them obviously, but I don't think they're as involved with me as I am, obviously, as everybody is. But that's where I got convinced by this parallel method, right? So that both you can heal at the same time, and in this case, you can build your business, but also you can I don't know, it could be in all different areas, right? You could lose weight at the same time and build muscle. You could go into therapy, but also at the same time, really actively work on your friendships. It could be all those different things parallel. And I know because I remember we were, yeah, this was, I think, 1 year in therapy. I did it. So I went into therapy for 1 year and 8 months. So little longer than 1.5 years, but at the end we were really finished. It was interesting to notice this as well. And we did hypnotherapy, and it was very confronting. I had a lot of panic attacks every week, and so I went once a week, and I think I was processing everything for 2 days a week, right? Full days. It was really hard. And I had a conversation about this with Hugo a few weeks ago, and he said this too, right? How invasive this process was as well for me, of course, as well as he was not complaining at all, but he was just saying, it was very invasive to our household. But so I did it for 1 year and 8 months, and I was 1 year in, and we went to the US. We went to my best friend, and I remember everything was just too much for me. And I was having panic attack after panic attack. And I was just listening to, I think I had the app of Deepak Chopra. And I think he had one of those little trainings or hypnosis on what to do when you have a panic attack, or I found it on Spotify or anything. And I was just going through it, and I was just like, oh, I really don't like this. Why did I do this? Why am I here? All those things. But in the end, I'm very happy that I went through all of that because I was also doing something fun. I was seeing my friend. I had so much fun as well. It really gave me a lot of energy for the rest of the year, actually. So anyway, I made something for you free to actually experience this. And I don't want to hear me talk about it too much. And it's a 12-minute hypnosis. It's just going to be you and me. And we're going to release the money story that you are currently carrying. That's one. We're going to claim the new identity in real time. And we're going to anchor it into your body, because that's where it really begins. It's not in your journal, but it's actually feeling it. And so, yeah. If you want this, you can find it in the show notes. You can leave your email address in the form, and then you will immediately receive the hypnosis. And I'm just really excited to do this with you, because I just love giving away free things on the podcast, and sometimes I do. And so, yeah, you can find it in the show notes. I'm really excited for you to dive in, and also send me a message, or you can send me an email. You can just reply back to the email that you got from me, how it was for you. Thank you so much for listening to the Shadow Business Podcast. You can rate the show, give it 5 stars so other people can find it, or send it to a friend if they have really enjoyed it. Okay, bye.